Building a powerful community. The kindness revolution. Why would a stranger do something so kind for me? That question lingered in the mind of a tired woman standing outside a crowded train station, holding a bag that had just been quietly paid for by a man she didn't know. No fanfare. No expectation. Just a smile and a nod before he vanished into the bustling crowd. It wasn't grand. It wasn't announced. But it sparked something. That moment, small, sincere, and staggeringly human, became the seed of something far bigger, a revolution. Not of politics, not of power or profit, but of kindness. This is the story of that revolution. And it begins where all true revolutions do. Not in the streets, not on screens, but in the heart. The forgotten currency of kindness. In the quiet corners of society, where noise from headlines doesn't reach and fame holds no value, kindness still thrives. But it's often ignored, dismissed as weak, or overshadowed by louder, faster, more sensational things. In a world driven by speed and results, kindness became the soft echo in the background, present, but hardly prioritized. Yet kindness, in its purest form, is a currency. It pays forward in emotional wealth, community strength, and human connection. It's the invisible bridge between strangers, the balm for unspoken wounds, the spark that reignites trust where it's been lost. A simple smile, a shared umbrella, a door held open a few extra seconds. These aren't acts of charity, they're building blocks. And over time, those blocks construct something far stronger than concrete ever could. A community built on genuine connection. The rise of fractured living. Modern life, despite its marvels, has nudged people apart. Cities burst with people, yet loneliness prevails. Digital networks grow, but face-to-face conversations shrink. The more connected we've become online, the more fragmented we've grown offline. Emma, a primary school teacher from Manchester, knew that feeling too well. I lived in the same building for 6 years and never learnt my neighbors' names, she admitted. Not because I didn't care, but because I thought no one else did. And that's the hidden epidemic, the assumption of indifference. People often refrain from reaching out, fearing they'll be seen as intrusive. The result? Silence, distance, disconnection. But here's the twist. People do care. They're just waiting for someone to go first. The power of the first move. In Newcastle, a quiet revolution started on a park bench. An elderly man, Mr. Thompson, sat with a small wooden sign, "Tell me something good." At first, people walked by, smirked, whispered, but then someone sat down. That first move was all it took. Stories began pouring in. Small joys, big dreams, broken hearts, hopes for better days. One bench became a haven, a symbol of trust in a world suspicious of sincerity. The lesson: kindness is often waiting in the wings. All it takes is one brave cue. The science behind the spark. Kindness isn't just poetic, it's biological. Studies from Oxford University have shown that acts of kindness trigger the release of serotonin and oxytocin, chemicals responsible for happiness and bonding. Dr. Leah Rowe, a behavioral psychologist, explains, when we help others, our brains reward us. It's nature's way of reinforcing pro-social behavior. Interestingly, kindness is contagious. Witnessing a kind act often inspires the observer to pay it forward. It's like emotional dominoes. One small push sets off a ripple across an entire community. So the next time you see someone holding the lift, picking up litter, or simply asking someone how their day was, remember, you're watching a revolution in motion. When kindness meets crisis. In times of crisis, kindness reveals its greatest power. During the 2020 pandemic, communities across the UK witnessed a kindness explosion. Neighbors who had never spoken became each other's lifelines. Strangers left groceries on doorsteps, handwritten notes appeared under doors, phone trees emerged for elderly residents. In Birmingham, a 14-year-old named Anika started a street WhatsApp group to check on the elderly. Within days, her small act spiraled into coordinated food runs, prescription pickups, even socially distanced birthday celebrations. "I just wanted to help one person," she said. "I didn't think it'd become all this." But that's the nature of kindness. It scales beyond intention. It grows. Building a kindness infrastructure. It's not enough to rely on chance. If kindness is to become a norm, it must be built into the bones of our communities. Some councils have started doing just that. In Brighton, bus shelters feature kindness boards, where people can leave uplifting notes. In Bristol, cafes offer suspended coffees, a prepaid cup for someone in need. Libraries double as community hubs with free workshops and quiet listening corners. Kindness can be structural. It can be budgeted, designed, scheduled. It's not just a spontaneous gesture, it can be policy. Kindness isn't weak, it's radical. Some dismiss kindness as passive, soft, or naive. But the truth, kindness is radical. In a world where conflict often dominates, choosing empathy is an act of rebellion. It takes strength to be gentle in a harsh world. As activist Maya Dalton once said, kindness is not the absence of strength. It's the proof of it. True kindness is not about being liked, it's about doing what's right, even when it's hard. It's standing up, reaching out, showing up. Teaching the revolution. If kindness is to endure, it must be taught, actively, intentionally, from childhood. Schools like St. Clair's Academy in Leeds now include empathy and kindness as part of their core curriculum. Students take part in weekly challenges, write a thank you letter, help someone struggling, create a kindness journal. And the results? Fewer behavioral issues, more collaboration, happier children. When we teach kindness, we're shaping the kind of adults we want in our world, says head teacher Mr. Ellis. It's future-proofing society. The digital dilemma. Online spaces are often the battleground for cruelty, but they can also be reclaimed. Movements like #KindComments and #ReclaimTheInternet are pushing back. Influencers now regularly spotlight kind acts and use their platforms to lift others. Apps are emerging that reward users for positive behavior. Kindness doesn't have to end at the screen. It can begin there too. The Kindness Blueprint. How to start your own revolution. Here's the truth. You don't need a following, a title, or a platform. You need a choice. Start with one person. A neighbor. A colleague. Yourself. Make kindness visible. Notes. Compliments. Check-ins. Build habits. Weekly acts of giving. Monthly meetups. Use your voice, online and offline, to celebrate others. And remember, perfection isn't required. Progress is. Because every revolution begins with a decision to care. The world we could build. Imagine a community where no one feels invisible. Where generosity is normal. Where strangers feel like neighbors, and neighbors feel like family. It's not a fantasy. It's a choice, 1,000 small ones, made daily. And it starts with you. Just like it did with the man at the station. He didn't know he was starting a revolution. But he did it anyway. And now, so can you. Welcome to the Kindness Revolution. Join the Kindness Revolution, only on Curiousphere. At Curiousphere, we don't just tell stories, we build movements. If this message touched you, stirred something within you, or reminded you of the power of everyday humanity, then you're already part of the revolution. Subscribe to Curiousphere for real stories that change how we see the world and each other. Comment below with an act of kindness you've experienced or shared. Share this video/blog with someone who needs a little hope today. Let's create a ripple of kindness, one curious mind at a time. Because the world doesn't change all at once. It changes when you decide to care. Curiousphere, where curiosity becomes compassion.